It has been 20 years since one of the biggest rap legends was killed. Biggie's murder has been a mystery for 2 decades, and we still don't know who was behind it all. But now, Biggie's mother, Voletta Wallace, is revealing the truth behind the mystery. Not only that, but Biggie's own guard has also come forward and talked about the real culprit behind the murder. Fans have long suspected that the person who decided to get Biggie Smalls killed was none other than his so-called friend and mentor, Diddy. Not only the fans, but Biggie's own mother believes that Diddy is the one who got the rapper killed. You're watching Celebrity Circle, and today we are going to be talking about how Biggie's mom exposed Diddy for lying about Biggie Smalls' murder. But before we get to all that, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future uploads.
And people need to see that part of him that nobody else knew.
Now, fans have always suspected that Biggie's murderer was none other than the music mogul Diddy. In a recent interview, Biggie's mother revealed how she knows the person who is responsible for the death of her son. She has talked about how she never really trusted Diddy from the start. Not only that, but she also believes that Diddy lured her son into a trap. In the book that she wrote about her son, she talked about the first time that Diddy found Biggie. You see, the music mogul found the rapper through a magazine, and it was then that he approached Biggie and offered him to join Bad Boys, his company. Biggie was offered a lot of money in return for the rights to his music, or that's what we thought. Voletta revealed that the rapper was given 25 grand for his music. This was a lot of money for Biggie. He was only 19.
That's the amount Puffy lured my son with. That was a lot of money for Christopher back then as a 19-year-old. He had never seen that much at one time in his life. It was enough money to make my son believe that Puffy was ready to do anything for him. It was enough to buy a blind love.
But considering how much money Biggie ended up making, this was only a small percentage of what he should have been making. Biggie thought that he was getting a friend and a mentor in the shape of Diddy. That's the exact thing that Voletta talked about in her book. She said that Biggie thought Diddy was his friend, a loyal mentor who would help him through everything. Little did he know, not only was he being exploited by Diddy, but he would also end up dead at the hands of the music mogul.
It hurts even more, especially when you know the truth is just there staring you.
Voletta isn't the only person who thinks Diddy is behind the murder. Someone who was present at the scene of the murder also knows for a fact that it was Diddy who wanted to get rid of Biggie Smalls. Gene Deal, Biggie's bodyguard, posted a video where he talked about some never-before-heard details about the murder of Biggie Smalls. The most shocking thing that he said in one of these videos was that Diddy even asked him to get rid of Biggie. In one of the videos that Gene posted, he said that Diddy once asked him to be a hitman for him and take Biggie Smalls out. Gene also said that he was offered a really large sum of money to do the job, but he declined, obviously.
I was offered $30,000 to perform a hit on Biggie Smalls. March 1st of 1997, I was approached by Diddy to perform a hit on one of his artists, finding out that he wanted all the rights.
But soon after he declined to do the job for Diddy, Diddy went around and found some other hitmen to finish the job. What's even more interesting here is that the night that Biggie was shot, he wasn't even supposed to be in Los Angeles. The rapper had gotten engaged the previous day and had to fly to London to be with his friends and family. So he didn't have a lot of security with him because he wasn't supposed to be there. So why did he stay? We will tell you all about it, but before we do, make sure to share this video with a friend who would enjoy our content and hit that subscribe button while you're at it too. Now, why was Biggie in Los Angeles when he was supposed to fly to London? Well, in an interview on The Oprah Show, Diddy talked about this. He said that he always feels some level of guilt when it comes to Biggie because Biggie wasn't supposed to be in the city. He then added that Biggie wanted to spend one more night with him in the city, and that's why it was Biggie's decision to stay. But fans think that the only reason Diddy said all that was so that fans don't get suspicious. But we already know that he's not as innocent as he's trying to be here.
He's my artist, and he was supposed to go to London that night, and I let him talk me into not going to London and staying in LA, and that's something that really bothered me.
Sources who were close to the two have said that Biggie did want to leave the city the way it was scheduled, but it was Diddy who convinced him to stay for one more night. If that doesn't raise your suspicion, what we are going to tell you sure will. Biggie and Diddy always traveled in the same car and had a lot of security. The security was important because Biggie was at the peak of his career, but the night that the rapper was fatally shot, there was little to no security. Not only that, but the two were traveling in different cars. Why did Diddy get in a different car from Biggie unlike usual if he didn't know something was going to go down?
Puff pull out first, we pull out behind him, he blow past the light. We stopped at the light. When we stopped at the light, I see some chicks on the curb. Before you know it, a car just rolled up, started popping in the car.
Gene and Valletta both have revealed why Diddy would get rid of the rapper. According to Biggie's mom, Biggie was lured into the company, not only with money, but also the image of a friend and mentor in Diddy. He never knew what was coming his way. Biggie released his first album with Bad Boys, and once he saw how much potential he had, he started to think why he was making only 25 grand. This is around the time when he got an offer from another producer offering him over $60 million. Now that is a lot of money. Even Gene Deal mentioned seeing this contract and talking to Biggie about it.
Briefcase and everything like that, like, yo, here, like, me carry this. Say, all right, I got 5 hours, 6 hours on this thing. Let me see what's in the briefcase. And I seen big contract.
Biggie had told him that he was thinking of leaving Bad Boys because he had gotten a much better offer from another producer. And less than 2 weeks after the word got out, Biggie was murdered. Allegedly, Diddy had found out about the rapper wanting to leave his company. This meant that Diddy couldn't profit off of Biggie anymore.
You don't have to believe me, believe the facts. Here's a man that wanted to leave Bad Boy. He wanted to do his own thing. He mentioned several times how he was tired of being used and abused, that he was bigger than Bad Boy.
Biggie was making Biggie money, pun intended, and Diddy was taking most of it. He knew that if the rapper left his company, he'd go broke. Now, Biggie had another album coming out, and this album was not supposed to belong to Bad Boys because Smalls was going to leave soon. But he was murdered and Diddy continued to profit off of Biggie's music even after his death.
It's all business, folks. And unfortunately, you as a fan, most of you won't understand.
So the only person who benefited from Biggie getting killed was Diddy. Doesn't that sound suspicious to you? All fingers point to Diddy being the murderer. And now, with what Biggie's mom and his guard have revealed about the case, this 2-decade-old case might be close to getting solved. Valletta really hopes that the person responsible for her son's death gets behind bars and her son finally gets justice. She thinks that the police know exactly who did it, but they were paid off by the murderer to shut everything down. Even Gene agrees with her on this. He said that the police showed him a picture of the guy who was suspected to have done it. But when they realized that Gene recognized the person, they never contacted him again. Now, if that doesn't raise your suspicion, we don't know what will.
There's a picture that the LAPD, when they came to interview me with my lawyer, Eloise Nurse there, and they made a mistake and showed me that picture.
And that was all we had time for in today's video. Do you think Diddy is responsible for the death of Biggie Smalls 20 years ago? What do you think is going to happen next in this case? Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this in the future. And with all that said, we will see you in our next video.